Hey guys, welcome to the third video of building MVC framework from scratch. So in the last video we've seen how we can do basic routing using HTXS file, and this was the result of the last video. In this video we'll do a routing using our own application. So as you can see clearly here that if we can write everything in switch statement, it will become quite huge. So we'll have to do a lot of switch statements and a lot of things, and everything index.php file will be quite large. Okay, so what we're gonna do is generalize some things here so that we don't have to do everything index.php, and just adding one or two more lines index.php will create a new page. All right, so before okay, let's begin. And first of all, I'm going to go to my config.php or config.folder and create a new file called let's call it route.php. So what it will do is take a URI and associate a function with it, so that we can whenever we match a specific URI, it will be executed automatically. The function must be executed automatically, so we don't have to provide everything in the index.php file. So let's quickly create that class. All right, I'm gonna call it route, and it has some private methods. The first private method is let's create a URI. It will be an array that will hold all the URIs in the application. I'm just gonna copy and paste it 3 times. The second one will be methods, and the third one will be errors. So URI will hold all the URIs, and methods will hold all the specific method matched with the URI. Actually, we can do that in same. I'm just not me. Okay, so we just need 2 of them. Errors will hold all the errors, like 404 error, 500 errors. If whenever we want to show an error, we can use this array. So the first method is add function that will take a URI. In case you forgot what a URI is the part after a website name. So this is our home address and this is our URI. Basically URI will also include a slash in our case, and it will also contain a function, and we'll see soon enough how we can pass a function to the method. So first thing first, we're gonna make sure that URI is always followed by a URI always has a backslash before it. So what we do is append that backslash before the actual URI, and if there is a URI already, if there is a backslash already in the URI, we will just remove it. So after this statement, there will always be a URI backslash before the URI. Sorry about that. All right, let's quickly add to our URI array, and we will actually add, it's a named array, so we will add it here, and it will be function here. Right, so we have added our array. Actually, let's take 2 here, because URI is a regular expression. I don't want to mess it up. URI will be here. I'm adding both of them together, so they will be in the same index in both array. So I can just call it using the index of the URI in the method class. The second method we will be building is the error method. It will take a code and also a function. So like if I want to define a 404 error, I will just call the method using 404 code and defining a function that will be called whenever 404 error occurred. So just gonna add this one first. I'm gonna make sure that function is not null, because what's the point of calling it then? And add it to the errors. This will be a named array, so that works out. Alright, so the final method and the most important one in this class will be submit. That would, after we have added all our URIs and errors, we will call the submit method that would quickly check which of the URIs matches the actual URI of the page, and it will actually call the methods. So first thing first, we will need the URI of the page. That would be, I'm just gonna copy it from here. Okay, this will be a slash. Now second thing we're going to do is the same thing with the add function. Always make sure that there is a backslash before the actual URI. Now at this point, if you want to see what we're getting, I'm just going to echo it out first, so you can see what we are getting here. So first, okay, I'm going to remove everything here. Root one config dash route. Okay, to use the routing system, we're going to need to create a new object of route, and as you can see, you can create multiple routes here. Add, let's call it home. For now, I'm just gonna call it with null because we're not calling it, using it actually. And about. Okay, let's go to about page and refresh. Is something? Oh, we forgot to submit the route. Right, so the URI you are getting is slash about, and you can just write anything here. You can see what we are getting. So we have defined two pages here, a home and an about page. And so in here I'm gonna check if any of the URIs that I've included at my URI array matches the current URI of the page. So this has, I'm going to looping through the URI table array, and if I get a match, don't worry about this regular expression. If you do not understand it, it's a simple regulation. You just have to copy it here, exactly here. It will not change. If it matches our URI, then we will get a parameter array. The first, let's print that one out to show you what we are actually getting here. So now make this one bigger here. We get an error or 29. Right, closing braces. Right, if I go to about, you will see that we get an array with 0 index pointing to about, and if I define it right like this. Alright, so about, let's as you can see that the first parameter will include the parameter we have passed. So we can actually pass multiple parameters using this sort of routing. So in here we know that we actually got matched with a specific URI. So what we need to do is call the method of the URI. So first of all, we need to make sure that this method at that particular key is not null. If it is not null, we can actually call the method. So in PHP there is a method that can allow you to call methods using string anonymous methods. So if we call user func, it will call our method. So this methods, so let's test this one. I'm gonna remove null here from here to function, and I will echo home. Same here, I'm just gonna copy that one. This will be about, this will be about with params. So if I refresh there, we can see that this is about with params. If I remove about, actually first remove the params, you see this is about. Second, if I remove about, it's a, so we build 3 pages here, and 1 page includes parameter. So also we need now still, as you can see, there are problems here. So we can define multiple pages here, but it will still be huge because we are defining everything here as well. So it's not very different from the switch statement, just cleaner but not very different. So what we need to do is, rather than passing a function here, we will pass the name of the controller here. So also we will leave this functionality as well, because if we're defining a small function, if we're defining a small functionality with a URI, we don't need to include an entire controller there. So if we are passing a string in the method name, that means it's a constructor name that we are assuming here. So if it's not a string, that means it's the function and we will passing that function here. So if it's a string, we need to do is create an object of the string, or object of the constructor. So we will, I'm just gonna copy this one here. We created an object, and in here let's say our constructor, what we generalize as a constructor is basically constructor must have a render method that will basically output a chunk of HTML data that will be used to show, actually it will return a view to us. So basically we will call the render method and it will handle everything for us, right? Later we will add parameters here as well. So let's first create a simple controller here. I'm just gonna call it controller.php, and it will be base controller for every other controller. We can basically import this, basically extend this controller to build our other controllers for our other URIs. So it will be class controller public function render, and it will echo this. Right, now you can add object, multiple functions, this sort of thing, but we are going for a very basic thing here, and we also need to include that controller in our index.php file. So it will be controllers and rather than passing a function here, I'm just gonna pass the name of the controller. So let's see if this works out, and as you can see, this is working. So we have seen how we can add controller to the method, and let's quickly go through and see if we can pass the parameter array. So rather than passing an empty, let's first check here what is the length of the parameter array. So if it is 1, that means we have no parameter, right? If it is greater than 1, then we need to pass the length here. Actually, we pass the length and parameter to all the methods. Right. Let's change it. It will take params array, and if the parameter array has more than 1, that means there are parameters and we can print those out. Echo param I. Right. So let's quickly go back here and also pass the constructor here. Controller, sorry. So refresh that. There are no errors. Go to about. That is still calling the method, and after 1, 2, 3, you can see that we already got one parameter here. So 1, 2, 3, and I cannot edit more because I need to define it here. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll continue this series in the next video.